All right, welcome back. Here we are today. We're going to be talking about Mexico and Caribbean. I am joined, I am Colter Fleming, your strategic account manager in Southern California, based in Orange County, handling parts of California as well as Arizona and Alaska. Wanted to thank you for watching this today. I'm also joined by my colleague, Joseph.
Thanks, Colter. Hi, everyone. I'm Joseph Barney. I'm the strategic account manager for Los Angeles all the way up to the Bay Area. So thanks so much for joining us today. I apologize for the mess. I just moved and my house is not set up yet, so excuse the boxes in the background. But we have an amazing guest with us here today. We have Cari from the Andaz Mayakoba and Park Hyatt St. Kitts. So Cari, we'll let you get things started. I think we have a few questions to kind of get to know you better.
Hi, everyone. Thanks for having me. I'm Cari Abonador-Alexander, and I'm the Director of Leisure and Wholesale for both Park Hyatt St. Kitts and Andaz Mayakoba.
Awesome. Awesome. Looking forward to getting to know you here today. We're going to play not 20 questions, just 3 questions. So hopefully, we can get to know you a little better. And again, really appreciate you joining us for this interview. So let's get started. First, tell us about your career and how did you get to your current role, and just explore that for us just for a moment.
Sure. It's a very interesting career path. Freshman year in college, I was taking biology, and because I'm supposed to be a doctor. I mean, I was told, I'm the youngest in the family, I was told I was going to be a doctor. So I took up biology as a pre-med course. And second semester, I couldn't stand the smell of cat. So I couldn't pursue it. So I'm like, okay,
why cat? Sorry, what does cat have to?
Zoology.
Oh, okay.
So I couldn't deal with it. So I'm like, okay, I can do blood, I can do everything else, but how do I get past the cat? And I can't. So my cousin at that time, she's a year older, and she was taking hospitality management course. And I've asked her, can you show me the curriculum, whatever. It wasn't like, oh, I dream to be this. So I looked at it, I'm like, oh, it's interesting. Like, what do I know about hotel? Nothing really. It's, I see those beautiful ladies at the front desk and they look very polished and well put together. And I'm like, oh, I want to be like that. So I switched. I took up hospitality management. In my senior year, I was talking to my advisor, and she's like, well, what do you want to be? I said, well, I want to be a front desk agent. And she's like, now, mind you, I'm from the Philippines. And back then I was told, I'm sorry, you can't be a front desk agent because there's a height requirement. And I'm like, what? You're too short. You're too short for front desk. So I'm like, what the heck? So anyway, long story short, she asked me, what do you like about it? I said, I like, the people interaction, meeting new people and being exposed to she's like, well, what about sales? And I'm like, okay. So right after college, I went into, I took a job as a business development executive for Hyatt Regency Manila at that time. And I never looked back, and I moved to the US January 2002 because I really wanted to be in New York, but it was post 9/11, so there was really no jobs in the area. So I moved to California. I lived in the Bay Area for a while before I moved back to Jersey in 2006, and I started my career in hospitality again. I did city hotels, so I was in New York for a long time. And then in 2017, I opened Grand Hyatt Baha Mar in the Bahamas. And at that time, I was like, what was I thinking of city hotels? Resort is so much more fun.
I bet.
So it was then that's like, okay, last year I joined Park Hyatt St. Kitts. And this year I've added Andaz Mayakoba in my portfolio. So it's been a long journey. Yeah.
So I heard you lived in California, New York, and New Jersey. Was there anywhere else that we missed?
No, just those 3. I just moved around. So I lived in LA area when I first moved to California. I couldn't stand the heat.
Oh, it's
So I moved to
102 in the
Bay.
valley today.
And I'm from the Philippines, so that's like crazy,
That's
crazy
saying
talk,
something.
right?
Yeah.
So, so I moved to the Bay Area because my brother was there at that time.
Okay.
So it was an easier transition.
Nice. Wow. That's a great story. I love hearing how people ended up where they are today. Sometimes it's kind of a meandering journey. That's really cool.
Yeah.
So now a little bit of a different question. Kind of going back to what you were saying before, what were you thinking doing city hotels and now you're doing these amazing tropical resort properties? So let's say you have one day left at one of these two properties of yours. What would be your ideal last day there?
That was that's crazy, right? I like to eat, so I probably will start my day with breakfast. So I'll probably have okay. I'll probably be in St. Kitts.
Mhm.
So let's just choose Park Heights St. Kitts.
Got to
So
pick one. Yeah.
yeah, so wake up and have breakfast at our great house. Then I'm probably gonna go out, do zip lining, or hiking at Mount Leomiga, or I'll go across the water in Nevis to go see Alexander Hamilton's museum. Probably will have lunch in that area, and then take the water taxi back to the hotel, freshen up, and then I'll probably go to like Salt Lodge. Salt Lodge is like a rustic beach restaurant, and it has the best sunset view in St. Kitts. And they
Ooh.
have this little deck area, and this little like what do you call that? Like a net, so you can have your drink as you're like laying in the net watching the sunset.
Wow.
So I'm probably gonna have a few drinks there, then head back to the hotel for dinner.
That sounds perfect. I've never been to that part of the Caribbean. I've always been very curious about St. Kitts, and I'm sure you'll tell us a little bit about it during your short presentation. So I'm really curious to learn more about it. I think a lot of people are maybe a little bit more familiar with the Riviera Maya
Yeah.
than St. Kitts. So that's really cool. Thank you.
So, okay. So it sounds like you've had an opportunity to travel quite a bit. You've lived in some different places, as you mentioned. Do you have something that you're admiring, that you want to go to that you haven't been to yet? Something on that wish list coming up.
I think, in our industry, we're very lucky because we're exposed to beautiful areas and we have the opportunity to travel. So being with Hyatt, we do get our complimentary rooms anywhere in the world, or our employee rate. So I am one of those people that take advantage of that.
Mm-hmm.
So I like to travel, and but the trick with that, because it's a complimentary room, you have to book it in advance. So I book my travel a year out.
Oh my
So
gosh.
technically, I have a trip coming up in January. We want to go to Argentina and Chile.
Oh,
Nice.
wow.
Yeah, so hopefully we can travel.
Where are you going to be staying then?
So we haven't decided where we're gonna stay in Chile, but for Argentina, we're gonna do Park Hyatt Mendoza and the Hyatt in Buenos Aires.
Oh my gosh.
That's a beautiful
Yeah,
hotel.
I'm super excited. I've heard great things about it. I've looked at the pictures, and we're super excited to eat meat
Yeah.
for
Eating
like two
fries is
bucks, right? For
Yeah.
steak for like $2.
Yeah. Well,
Well,
that's awesome. So I think now you're going to give us a little bit of an update on your properties and show us some nice visuals.
Yes. I'm gonna do that. As soon as I figure, okay, here, share screen. Couldn't find it. Can you see it? Share. Can you see it?
there we go.
There we go. Yep.
So I want to talk about Park Hyatt St. Kitts first. And as you mentioned, Joseph, not everyone knows about St. Kitts. So St. Kitts is a really tiny island in the Eastern Caribbean. It's located west of Puerto Rico and east of Barbados. So we're about less than, flight-wise, we're about 20 minutes, 30-minute ride from Puerto Rico. So it's a quick ride over there. It's a very tiny island. It's very historical. Back in the day, St. Kitts and Nevis used to be the headquarters for the British and French when they were colonizing the different islands in the Caribbean. That's why, you know, Thomas Jefferson's house is there. Alexander Hamilton's house is there. Park Hyatt St. Kitts is the first Park Hyatt property in the Caribbean. We're also the first Park Hyatt or luxury hotel in St. Kitts. St. Kitts and Nevis is a it's a twin island country. People are more familiar with our neighbor in Nevis because they've been around for 30 years. But people don't know, they don't realize that you fly into St. Kitts before you get to Nevis. So in St. Kitts, part of the development that they're doing, the hotel is located in the southeast of the peninsula. So it's in the Christoph Harbor area. And our hotel is the hotel at the very tip of it, so in the Banana Bay. So if you look at the picture, you'll actually see Nevis Island right across. You can take a water taxi from our hotel to go to Nevis, and it's about a 10-minute boat ride. This property is a 124-room property. We have 48 suites, and we have multiple suites that have plunge pools, which nowadays it's an ideal room type post-COVID travel. If you look at the map of the resort, we're sprawling. So it sits in a 20-acre property from the presidential villa, which is the closest to the beach, all the way to like the reception area. It's kind of like a 180-degree view. So you don't see tall buildings here. It's multiple buildings of like 3 floors, 3-story high. Each building has about 6 to 7 rooms, depending on the room type. And every room category that we have has a balcony. So you have a resort view or an ocean view. We also have 2 pools, one for adults only and one for families. The one that you see closer to the rooms is for the adults. The one closer to the ocean is the one for families. The way aside from the landscape, the design of this resort is really geared towards the St. Kitts lifestyle and livelihood. So you'll see a lot of like plantation design, like the restaurant that we have, Fisherman's Village, that's like a replica of the huts back in the days when there were huts around the seashore because the fishermen are out catching fish. This used to be a sugar plantation, so there's a lot of like sugar mill in the area. So yeah, so it's this property is geared for those type of travelers that would want to venture out and explore the island. You have hiking at Mount Liamiga, you have zip lining, you have, you know, across the ocean on Nevis. You can also do like a wide variety of like hiking and tours and dining over there, aside from Alexander Hamilton. And everything about it is more like doing a lot of things with the residents. I think it's good to point out that because it's a very small country, they were very good when COVID hit. They immediately closed the borders. They only had 15 cases of COVID in the island, and every single one of them is now well and good. That's why they want to make sure that when they open, because they're planning to open in November, that everything is in order, because they don't want to bring in, you know, COVID virus to the island, because they've been pretty good at it. So that's Park Hyatt St. Kitts. I'm very excited about it. The next property that I have is in the Riviera Maya. more people are more familiar with this. Well, I think, let me go back to Park Hyatt St. Kitts. Park Hyatt St. Kitts is relatively new. We're turning 3 years old this November. So it's very new in the market. Andaz Mayakoba is about 4 years old. We're turning 5 next year. So again, this is the newest property in the Mayakoba complex in the Riviera Maya. Another beautiful property. Andaz is now being more well known as a Hyatt brand. This is our luxury lifestyle brand, and every Andaz property that we own are very different from one another. So Andaz is all about personal style, and all the hotels that have an Andaz brand adapts like the decor and everything about the resort, the hotel, into what's in the neighborhood. So you'll see a lot of like Mayan culture, Mexican design in the, you know, the landscape and the decor of the resort. We're also very lucky because we have the biggest beach amongst the 4 properties that sits in Mayakoba. We have 214 rooms and 41 suites. Similar to Park Hyatt St. Kitts, we have rooms, we have suites that have plunge pools as well. So it's a good option for post-COVID travel. If you look at the map, we do have the lagoon side and the beach area. So what's great about the Mayakoba complex, you can take that boat ride for breakfast or for tour, or just to go to any of the other properties within the complex. Or you can take a bike, you can ride your bike up and down, or you can just walk around. Everything is within, you know, walking distance. We also have multiple restaurants in the resort. So aside from the restaurants in Andaz Mayakoba, you can also dine at any of the other restaurants in the Mayakoba complex and charge it to your room. This resort is really ideal for adult travelers, multi-generational travelers, honeymooners, bachelorette type of guests. This is because the Mayakoba complex is a gated community. You feel very safe and secure. You don't really need to get out of the complex if you don't want to, because you can enjoy the facility within the entire Mayakoba complex. I think last but not the least, I just want to share that both properties have post-COVID health and sanitary standards. So there's of course, there's the Hyatt standards that every property needs to adhere to, right? And then every hotel, depending on the destination, needs to adhere to those standards that they have. So these are the protocols in place. So aside from the PPE, mask, you know, sanitizing everything, hand sanitizers everywhere. So again, I think we're very lucky. I'm very lucky that I'm representing 2 properties that have the luxury of space post-COVID travel. So that's all I have.
So, okay. So clarify just for us real quick here. Okay. So Andaz Mayakoba, so you would fly into Cancun then,
Yes.
and how far is it from the airport to the property?
It's about 35 minutes drive.
Okay. Okay. So, lots of people, you know, from the West Coast here can get down to that area, you know, either direct from LAX or going through Dallas or Phoenix. And sometimes, what about Park Hyatt St. Kitts? How do you get there?
So Park Hyatt St. Kitts, you fly into SKB.
Okay.
There's American flies, pre-COVID, American flies daily from Miami and from New York. So you either have direct flights from with American Airlines, with Delta, United, in different airports like Atlanta or JFK, not all airports. So if you connect, like if United connects through Puerto Rico, and then you can take the smaller plane to get to SKB. And from the airport, it's about 15-minute rolling hills type of travel to the resort.
And you said in terms of the Park Hyatt, that is reopening in November?
November 1st, yes.
Great. And for Mayakoba, they've been open. Cancun's doing a lot of business right now, right?
Yes. They've been open since June 15, I want to say. And when I joined them in July, they were in phase 2. So they have like a max occupancy of 30%. Now they've elevated to the next level. So we can have up to 60% occupancy.
Oh, wow. Okay. That's great.
And both properties have really good festive offerings. So please take advantage of it.
Very nice. And one thing I was going to mention for our travel advisor friends who are watching this, if they ever want to go back and reference the protocols that you have in place with both of these properties, they can log into their Classic Assist account, and we have our protocol directory where they can look up by destination and see all of this information too, because obviously it's a lot to remember, but if your clients have questions about this, you can always log into the Classic Assist site and then view it there as well.
Perfect. Yeah, and we'll be more than happy to share this with anyone that would want it. I believe that I've shared it with both Robert and Julie.
Yes.
Julie, yeah.
With our product team. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Shout out to the product team right there, guys.
Marketing team too.
Oh, and marketing.
Yeah. They're my friends too.
Well, this has been terrific. I am just in awe of both of these properties. I've been down to the Riviera Maya a few times, but now tell us, just clarify for people who may not know. I'm one of those, so I'm sort of wondering what is the Mayakoba region? I've heard about this. I just don't really understand it. It's sort of like a neighborhood within Playa del Carmen.
It's a community. It's a community of so it's a complex of 4 different hotels that complement each other.
Okay.
So the Mayakoba complex has Rosewood, Banyan Tree, Fairmont, and Andaz Mayakoba.
Pretty nice company there.
Yes. So the idea is you're not competitors. You're complementary to one another. That's why the whole Baja Mar concept was created, because Mayakoba complex started it.
I see.
So yeah, it's a friendly, like we're like cousins because we're not with the same brand. So I see it as like cousins.
And Mayakoba is basically like adjacent to actually Playa del Carmen, right?
Yes, it's about 15-minute away from like Fifth Avenue.
Okay.
So if people really want to go out and venture out on Fifth Avenue and want to party, it's not that far.
Yeah, that's nice to have the option if you want to maybe have one night experiencing some local culture to not have it be too far away too.
Yeah. And the transportation system is okay. Like, you feel safe even if you just take the regular taxi to go back and forth. You'll feel safe.
Wonderful.
That's awesome. Well, we've got an option for this weekend for anybody, and then an option starting in November with St. Kitts, and they both look amazing. Yeah. Was there anything else that you guys wanted to cover today? I've learned a lot. I'm just, I've added 2 new places to my list for sure.
Yeah. Absolutely.
You definitely should visit both properties. It's 2 different brands, 2 different location, and 2 different offerings. So if you feel like you want to be in a remote area, St. Kitts would be the perfect destination for you. If you want to be, partying and all that, Riviera Maya will be the perfect spot for you. So it depends on your mood.
Depends on the mood. Yeah.
Yes.
A little bit of something for everyone.
Yes. Yes. And we value the partnership with Classic. So we work, I personally work very closely with your team to make sure that you have the right offerings in the market. So your clients will be happy, and we'll be happy to welcome them.
Well, that was amazing. Thank you so much, Cari. We really appreciate you taking time with us today and letting us learn a little bit more about your beautiful properties. It was really wonderful.
Thank you too. Thanks for your time and this opportunity.
Yes, our pleasure. Our pleasure. And guys, thanks for listening. I'm just going to talk to the listeners who I don't really know, but thank you for listening. And with that, we will sign off for the day. So y'all have a great one and take care.
Bye, everyone. Thank you,
Bye.
Cari.
Bye.